Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I curl my hair to get like a Dyson Airwrap look without using a Dyson. I have yet to buy one and I probably won't buy one just because I don't want to spend the money on it. So I've been trying to find ways to recreate those bouncy, loose, kind of that blowout look without breaking the bank and spending money on a Dyson. I have kind of came across this technique on how to style your hair like that with a curling iron. It's not perfect. It doesn't look exactly the way it would if you were to use a Dyson, obviously, but it looks close enough. This is actually the way that it turns out. Big, loose, bouncy waves that last quite a while. If you want to know how to get this look, then keep on watching. So the first thing that I always like to do is take my straightener and just kind of run it through the back of my hair. And that is just because I have naturally wavy hair if I don't brush it out, and the back can get pretty wavy. And with this look, or really like any look, it's not cute to have kinks and waves with the rest of your hair styled differently. It honestly brings me back to like that TikTok of how we all were in middle school when like the fronts were all straight and the back is like a disaster. So I like to just kind of split my hair into a couple different sections just because I have thick hair and I just feel like it helps ensure that I get every little squiggle of wave. So I really don't run the straightener over it entirely, but I try to just focus on the pieces that are wavy and trying to get the waves out. So I'm just gonna probably do a time lapse or speed through this because I know if you're watching this, you probably know how to straighten your hair. Straightening it's not that hard. Last layer. Okay, it's definitely not perfect, but it is a lot better than it was. Like I said, I do not spend that much time on it. It honestly took me like less than 3 minutes. Mainly I'm just focusing it on like this wavy parts right up on my scalp. And honestly, if you have naturally straight hair or hair that doesn't get that issue, then you can really just skip this step altogether. To create the big bouncy waves, you want to have a bigger curling iron. This one is 1.5 inch, I believe. I will figure that out and link it down below in the description box. But the bigger size barrel that you have, the more bouncy and big your curls are going to be. I wish I had one just a little bit bigger, but I don't, so this one will do the trick. But just keep that in mind so that you are choosing the right size barrel for the length of your hair and for the look that you want. So again, I'm going to be sectioning my hair off into different sections. I like to split it up into 3 sections just because, again, I do have thicker hair, but you can do whatever it is that you desire. I would just make sure you at least do 2 layers because you want to curl the tops and the bottom a little bit differently. So I'm just gonna split my hair down the middle and kind of split each half into like their own sections. So I'll have 4 different sections of hair and I'm just gonna start curling. So what I like to do, and this honestly like goes against everything I've been taught with like curling my hair, but this is what I've learned works best for me to get this look. So I like to pull all the way down, make sure that you get the ends in. And then once you do, roll it all the way up. Make sure you're keeping the iron horizontal. Hold it there for a few seconds. Release the clamp. And try to kind of catch it, the curl in your palm, and kind of hold it up while it cools down. And then I'm just going to do it again with the other section. It's really important that you get the ends in the curling iron just to make sure that it produces more of a bouncy curl versus a beach wave. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to shut the door on him. So you'll see it kind of created like these ringlets. So the curl is very heavy at the bottom and it just creates like this very bouncy ringlet. Don't worry, we will touch it up and mess with it in a little bit. That's not going to be what it looks like, but that is what you want it to look like while you are curling. Just gonna do the same thing over here. If you have layers, you might have to do like a lot of sections just because it might be hard to get your hair in the barrel with like the ends all being a different length. It takes some practice and you're honestly just gonna have to figure out what works best for you and your hair and the way that it's cut. But you do want to keep it to the biggest size sections that you can while still being able to fit the hair in the barrel, just because when you start putting less hair into it and have smaller sections, it's not gonna look as bouncy and it's gonna look more like a curl, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. Now I'm going to let down like a pretty big section, all but like my very top layer. I'm gonna split it in half again and do the same thing. So this time I'm not gonna separate it into fours. I'm just kind of gonna grab chunks that seem to make sense and that have like the same layer length, if that makes sense. If you're not able to kind of hold the curl up, that's okay. But if you can hold it, it does just kind of help it develop a little bit better. I'm gonna walk through again on this one. So what I'm doing is just kind of going right down to the end, trying to get the ends in the clamp, and wrapping it up all the way to the top while keeping it horizontal. Holding it here for, I don't know, maybe like 10 seconds. Releasing the clamp while still holding it horizontal. Holding it in my palm while it cools. And then releasing it. And it just creates all of these little ringlets. If you do have different layer lengths, you might kind of have to start like turning your curling iron a little bit and like slowly pressing on the clamp to make sure that you get it in there without it falling out. That's just a trick that has helped me. Okay, and now I'm gonna take down the top layer. And this one I'm gonna do a little bit differently. So instead of splitting it in half, I'm almost gonna split it in like threes. So I'm almost gonna have like a side section, a back section, and then another side section. So this is the back. And the reason that you want to do it this way versus the way we were just doing it is so that you can create a little bit more volume in the back of your head. like you would have if you got a blowout or if you did use the Dyson Airwrap. I have super long hair, so I kind of have to like do it to the side at first. But what you want to do is essentially wrap it horizontally and kind of roll it under. This is not turning out that great. I might have to redo it because it's falling out. Like I said, I have pretty long hair, so sometimes this part can be pretty tricky. And then if you can hold it, that will help the curl develop and create volume as well. Alright, moving on to the side. So I'm just going to split this basically into like 2 sections. So the side and then my front pieces. So I'm going to do the side the same way that we've been doing it. Just go all the way to the end. And wrap up horizontally. And then for the front, I do like to just curl it a little bit more like a beach wave, just so that it like drapes a little bit better. I do leave a little bit of the end out, like that. Alright, so I have it all curled and this is what it currently looks like. I'm just gonna let it cool down completely and then I'm gonna mess with it. And I think I forgot to mention, but at the beginning when I started curling my hair, I didn't put any product in it or anything like that. You don't need any. I washed my hair a couple days ago and I do find that the dirtier hair you have, the more your curls hold and the easier it is to style. But you don't really need any products or to put anything in it before other than like a heat protectant. I don't really like to use hairspray in my hair just because I find that it makes it crunchy and I feel like it doesn't help with like the bouncy, shiny, playful look that I like to go for. If you want to put hairspray, that is totally fine. I would maybe just suggest doing like a lighter hold and limiting it to the least amount possible. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start running my fingers through the ringlets at the bottom, and then I'm also gonna kind of flip my head over and continue to run my fingers through it as well. Alright, so there you have it. This is exactly how I get these big bouncy curls without using a Dyson or getting a blowout or anything like that. I find that it will loosen a little bit, but it does tend to last on me for at least a couple of days, which I really like. I love how effortless this is. It doesn't look like you spent much time on it at all. It honestly looks like you just stepped out of a salon and you didn't. And I think it is a fun new way to style your hair. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave them down below in the comments. I would love to help answer them. And I hope that this video was helpful. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more hair videos, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you all in my next video.